Why SCATfails.com.
In this SCAT file, we're going to talk about a broken shovel. If you find yourself with a broken shovel like this, I recommend you just go buy another one. You can buy this exact shovel at Harbor Freight for 20 bucks. So for the amount of time it's going to take you to repair this, unless you're like me and you just enjoy fixing stuff, you're just better off to go replace it. But I'm going to actually use this to talk about structural stiffeners and stress risers and fatigue failure. So just quickly, if we look at this, you can see that there are two stiffeners down this shovel that are required for the function of the shovel, but what they do is they create a stress riser right at the end of the stiffener, and you have both of them here, so the whole stress that would be taken up in this in the blade of the shovel is all concentrated right at that failure mode, or that failure point. And so you can see here as I stress the handle, it opens that crack, and that's exactly what's happening every time the tip of this or the blade of it was loaded up. All that stress is concentrated right across this point, and it creates that fracture right there. So if I was to change this design, what I would do is I would run these stiffeners up into this area here, potentially even pulling them right up to this center stiffener. And what that's going to do is that's going to put this riser, the stress riser, up higher in the blade, up further up into the handle where it's a stronger member. So that's what I would have done had I designed it. So I'll go ahead and repair this now. So just quickly, we'll talk about the crack itself. So you see the crack, a fatigue crack will always propagate perpendicular to the stress direction. So you can see as I pull on this, I'm stressing it across the blade there, and the main crack is opening up here. But there are no stiffeners from left to right here, and so over time, as this has been fatigued again and again, a secondary failure has happened down the center of this, and I'll have to go ahead and repair that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repair the failure, and then I'll probably add some stiffeners up the blade here just for fun. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to drill a hole at the end of each one of the cracks, because even if my weld isn't quite exactly great, I want to terminate that crack from propagating, and that drilled hole will remove the crack, and even if I don't get the weld 100% in there, it's not going to continue on. And then I'll do the same at this crack. So we'll go ahead and clean it up and start doing that. Okay, so a couple things about welding dirty aluminum. I'm TIG welding it, and dirty aluminum and TIG welding just don't go well together. So my welds were a little bigger than I wanted. They were a little gobby, so I ground them down. I would have ground them down anyway, because you want a smooth surface on the inside of a shovel. But so anyway, so the welding is done, front and back, and I just tried out an experiment here. I thought instead of adding stiffeners, I'm just going to continue this stiffener on up into where I mentioned earlier, up more into the stronger area of the neck of the shovel here. So I've tried one side, and it works okay. It's all dented up and stuff, but it still gives me that section modulus that I'm looking for, that carries that stiffener up to where I want it to terminate. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side here, and we'll be done. So I'm using a bending die as a backer here. It's got what I need. It's got the recess in the middle so I can hit it with the hammer, and a couple of edges there to support around where I'm hitting. I'm just going to hit it with this hammer here. Well, that wasn't too bad, and it does exactly what I wanted it to do. Just going to go a little bit higher here with that one, and I'll be done. Alright, that's I've gotten the stiffers finished. I've repaired the weld, or the crack there with the weld. I'm going to actually straighten out this edge. I'm just going to clean up the edge of this a little bit so I can get a piece of tape on here right down, as far down as I can get it, so I don't have to cut off very much of the blade. Now that the extra stuff is off that edge, I'll go ahead and put some masking tape down so I can get a nice crisp straight front edge and all. All right, Ryan, there you go. Your shovel's back in working order. Thanks a lot.